On Friday, CNN reported Trump's nominee to the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, failed to disclose 2 talks she gave to student anti-abortion organizations at Notre Dame University in 2013. In her Senate questionnaire, she just forgot, apparently, about those things. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so then she submitted to the Judiciary Committee a supplement disclosing both the lecture and a seminar, and informed the committee that while serving as a law professor at the University of Notre Dame, she signed on to a 2013 paid advertisement criticizing Roe v. Wade. I think we knew where she stood. I don't think that was a big shock. But anyway, now we have it in writing. In response, the advocacy group Demand Justice said that Barrett's nomination, which is backed by tens of millions of dollars in spending from dark money organizations, obviously should not move forward without a full accounting of her past speeches and links to these groups that she has clearly tried to downplay or hide. Now, why is she trying to downplay and hide them? The whole reason that she's being appointed is for her views on this, and also because Trump hopes that, he can get the election to somehow be kicked over to the U.S. Supreme Court, much like W. Bush did, and then have this court decide who gets to be the president. They're trying to rush this through. Join the fight to end the hijacking of the Supreme Court by right-wing political actors at demandjustice.org. Again, demandjustice.org. The fight continues because ahead of the Senate Judiciary Committee's hearing, which is scheduled to start today, by the way, even though it's a holiday, they're in a hurry. More than 5,000 lawyers are urging senators to defend the lives and fundamental rights of all Americans by refusing to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. Civil rights advocates have raised alarm about the extreme ideology, as the lawyers put it. They were raising the alarm since even before Trump officially announced her nomination. In the open letter they submitted to the Senate, it's called Lawyers for Good Government. They're a national network of attorneys committed to upholding human rights and equal justice for all, in partnership with our good friends, and I mean, I actually have good friends over at the Alliance for Justice, an association of 120 organizations. 150 progressive groups sent a similar message to senators last week, including United We Dream, Bend the Arc, Jewish Action, Disability Rights Advocates, Human Rights Campaign, and the National Women's Law Center. So, it's not just rights groups, it's actually lawyers who are worried about this. In California, top election officials are investigating reports that the state's Republican Party has set up unauthorized ballot drop boxes posing as official. Can you believe this shit? I mean, wouldn't everyone just be shocked if California suddenly went red? Give me a break. Come on. Insane. So they're putting off unauthorized drop boxes that are posing as official drop boxes. Good Lord. They have to cheat in order to win means, hijacking of the election. Okay. Anyway, that's an illegal practice, by the way, and it could deceive voters into putting their ballots in these unsecure locations. The Orange County Register of Voters, Neil Kelly, is reporting hundreds of phone calls about potentially unlawful ballot drop boxes promoted by Jordan Ty, a regional field director from the California Republican Party. And that was just one of several instances of potentially illegal election activity by Republican officials that has been reported in recent days. I mean, seriously, look at this guy. Doing my part and voting early is what he tweets out. Good thing he has a mask on, so you won't be able to see him. And also it makes him look like a Democrat because now masks are, politicized. Doing my part in voting early. This is by far the most important congressional election I've ever voted in. I'm so proud to have cast my vote for Michelle Steele. DM me for convenient locations to drop off your ballot. Okay. Yeah. He'll give you those very convenient locations. They're garbage cans, basically, where you can drop off your ballot. I wonder if they go through them and see which ones are Republican and which ones are, Democratic. And then anyway, you can go to fairfight.com to fight voter suppression in the U.S. Later this week, we have Greg Palast coming on to talk about voter suppression. Kwasi Speck from our Twitch channel says it's not terribly surprising, but it seems like it would be so easy to spot that it's laughably reckless. Yes. Why are they doing that? That it's so laughably reckless that you can obviously see which one is and which one is not. One thing that I think activists could do is go and put a big sticker. This is a fake voting booth. Find another one, before they wait for some sort of official removal of these boxes. Over to the climate emergency activist Greta Thunberg has endorsed Joe Biden for president, urging climate voters to make their voices heard in the U.S. presidential election. Thunberg said in a tweet that she never engages in party politics, but the upcoming U.S. elections are above and beyond all that. Thunberg, whose Fridays for Future strike sparked a global climate protest movement, which of course we've all had our eyes on this whole time, and we've been covering here at act.tv since it wasn't a thing. We've been covering it. Now it's a thing. Anyway, those Fridays for Future strikes sparked that global climate movement that we are living through right now, after she and her buddies started striking outside the Swedish parliament in 2018. And we believe that they could encourage participation among young voters who are typically less likely to vote than older Americans who apparently don't give a shit about their grandchildren. All righty. There's that. Okay, Virginia, by the way, is the latest state to officially observe Indigenous Peoples Day instead of honoring Christopher Columbus, and more than 130 cities that have followed suit. The change reflects a growing movement to recognize the native populations that were displaced and decimated after Christopher Columbus and other European explorers reached the continent. Technically, Columbus Day is a federal holiday, which means it's recognized by the U.S. government, and thus brings the closure of non-essential government offices, and usually places like post offices and banks, but states and local governments can choose not to observe a federal holiday. And as is the case with a growing number of places, change the name and intent of the October holiday altogether. You can support Indigenous peoples' fight to decolonize the U.S. at seedlingssovereignty.org/taking/action. Again, it's seedlingssovereignty.org/taking action. You're watching ACT TV. I'm Julianna Forlano. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. We bring you the progressive news updates 4 days a week. Plus, we have a lot of other folks that come on and talk. We got Messiah. We have James. We've got Jocelyn comes on with the solidarity now. So, check us out. We're growing. Thank you very much for everyone who's already subscribed. We appreciate it. I'm Julianna Forlano. You can follow me on Twitter if you like pictures of the forest, because that's what I often post.